Get your money out of the markets, ladies and gentlemen. It's not safe. Get it out. Don't do it to yourselves.
This should be a fun game, though. Again, for Team Spirit, I think the ideal is they get the jump on Navi. Because, again, you hit level 6 in the silencer, you're kind of good to go. You would still be waiting for, say, Rue's blink timing, but what we've seen from Rue and a lot of Bat Rider Pause 4s, farming that blink doesn't take too long. You tend to see it, what, 15 minutes, maybe 16 on a really slow game, perhaps 16 to 17. At that point, you should get going here on the side of Team Spirit. They have to really maintain their lane, and that's where it gets scary. All of the heroes on Navi are pretty hard to shove away. They've got decent enough combinations where their supports are kind of poke back as well. And again, your mid foundation here for Laurel, if this Beastmaster isn't off to a good start, it's going to be stuck farming along with this Alchemist as well. And the Pangolier can make plays with a Silencer and the Bat Rider, but it would also be contingent on Bat Rider actually sneaking some farm in. So it's kind of farm intensive on Team Spirit. You need a steady foundation to get that farm here. I'd say the first 6 minutes kind of dictates it here for how that tempo starts to go into like the 12 to 15 minute mark. And for Navi, if they get a slow start, but they're not bleeding out gold, they're at parity with Team Spirit, they're in a happy spot. Because their timings are a little bit later, maybe towards the 18-minute mark, depending. But once you get going, once this Doom is ready to show up with Doom and an Echo Saber blink, then you have a lot of great ways of just locking someone down, bursting them down with Niku, and kind of cleaning house later on. Have to wait and see. Not too much excitement over these runes. Maybe an extra one for Navi. Daze does get it. Just walks over. You love it when you're a support. You just grab an extra rune. Happy days for Daze.
Absolutely. Nice even, rather 1 to 3 trade in the favor of Navi. Let's start with the mid lane, Jonathan. Lal will be here on the Beastmaster against Niku on the Husker. They're going to try and just abuse the mid Beastmaster here against this Husker pick, which, you know, in some ways, with the Boars, with the Wild Axes, again, it's not about winning the lane, but at least you don't outright lose the lane. I think is the idea here for Team Spirit here for Lal.
Yeah, and again, he's playing it right. He's just standing back, maintaining double bore. You spam Axis when you can. Early levels in Berserker's Blood means you're still doing some good damage with the Axis as well. And Niku, he does have a range advantage, but Laurel, again, always has the bores that he can just micro around. So we'll see how much he can get away with here and how much Niku can apply pressure. First 2 waves out, feeling all right here for Laurel. Good snipes from Rue. Double couriers down already. That's a ton of gold to just get for free. The deliveries were made at least, so it's not the worst thing in the world for the side of Navi, but every bit of bonus gold you find is, again, very important because you're trying to rush round roots. You want to get a good timing and blink. All these early little pokes you get is very worthwhile. That bot lane is probably our most stable lane coming out here, right? You've got the Underlord for PMA, you've got Yatoro on an Alquid, a support that doesn't really do as much in terms of playing with, say, the Acid Spray and Unstable. There is potential, but it takes a lot of poking nowadays from Silencer to get a kill threat.
Bottom lane, big jump in, the Pit of Malice. It's going to lock Yatoro down for quite a while here. He'll stick charge through it. Going after Daze, maybe he can secure the kill first, but they lose vision. Oh. And PMA is able to get the life of Yatoro. Daze will successfully walk out of there. And that's a fantastic start if you're the side of Navi.
I love that read on Navi as well. They know that Team Spirit's dual lane down bot just isn't that aggressive, especially in early levels. Right? You're not doing as much damage on the Silencer. Your follow-through for playing with Acid Spray, you don't have a lot of physical output to play with it outside of the Alk. So they just play with their own double stuns. Just the lift back Pit of Malice enough to punish Yatoro for stepping too far out. You do need to ferry out regen for PMA, but otherwise it's happy days there down bot. Very different story for the side of Team Spirit top. Like, this is a lane where you're expecting it to be slower. Batyuk is, you know, just going to have to farm up with the pulse from Root. They just want steady EXP. You still get some steady farm as well here for Got the Juice, of course. He manages to get his own pull-off, so they're balancing that nicely top. The mid lane has been eking out now for Niku, but not by a massive amount. 3 CS ahead. Laurel still managed to found a few things himself, and he's getting pulls off. So this is one way to just avoid that hard Husker lane. Just get the pulls, soak your EXP, and again,
bottom again.
Just don't bleed out.
Bottom, Panto, nothing he can do. They'll try to trade with PMA, but there's just no chance. one of the things we don't really see, or rather talk about too much, but this Rubik Unlord combo, it's pretty yuck. You know, because you're guaranteed the 2 locks with Pit of Malice. So you've got 3 seconds of duration just there, 3 seconds of disable just there, plus the lift. It's pretty yucky.
Dire's middle tower is under
That it
attack.
is. And mind you can get a little bit extra if your positioning is good for the body blocks, or if you're right way to creep wave, cause some
Right.
patting issues by the trees. I think that's something that we've seen Navi in even the first kill be really nice about. They know when to look for that combination. And it just goes back to what we've been seeing from Navi in this entire tournament so far. They've been very good at their lanes. They know how to push the envelope. Their drafts have been, it feels like, really much more in the meta than other teams have been. And they just know these timings. Mind you, again, for Team Spirit, they do expect this game to go a little bit slower. You don't want to be bleeding out in this Alp lane, but you kind of have to make these sacrifices with the weaker combinations you have on hand. Again, the silencer just doesn't feel great until levels start to pour up, and you just don't have room for that in this game. Trying to check, they do have a few stacks in the triangle here for some flash farm. One benefit of having that Bat Rider support for Rue, but not as much yet, and there's always time for a sneak around here from Nuku once he's confident, perhaps, to start to work the map. So that's something you have to be keenly aware of on the side of Team Spirit. They do have good wards to at least watch any rotations, at least from top into, say, Power Runes, which is still a little bit later on. I'm not sure if you even contest. Like, Laurel is just forced into jungle, which is fine. Again, avoiding Husker, but it's a free lane so far for Niku, which is, again, a little bit concerning. Level 6 is up. Going to be an Armlet Rush, nothing too far off course for our usual Husker build. But we've seen what happens once Niku does have that Armlet. He is willing to show up, TP in, force a fight, maybe try to pressure an objective. They tried the gate up top here.
Well, they will go through. Panto, no, he gives up on it. He'll go back down bottom. But they are watching the gates now. Riddies is there. Panto's having a think about it. Luckily for him, he won't go through.
Dire structures are fortified.
Bottom lane's getting worse and worse though. Like Yatoro, he needs some assistance here. They're just forcing the tier 1 tower now. He will successfully at least pull the creep wave away, so the siege creep
Radiant structures
should eventually just be dying, and it will. But the Alchemist, it's just not having a great time, is he? You know, 27-0 in CS. It's not the worst, but it's not good either. I think the one saving grace is the fact that Lal's actually had a really good time on the Beastmaster. In fact, he's actually won out the lane. So there you have it, Joe. At least the Beastmaster, in terms of CS, is having a great old time.
I almost feel bad.
That he is. He did have to jungle, but he was very efficient in jungle.
Okay.
So he is getting a little bit more out there, just less in EXP, which is what Niku kind of wants anyhow. Has level 7, max out Berserker's Blood. It's pretty stable to just frontline now with a regen he can get. The key thing here for Team Spirit is, again, no one scouted out these stacks. So Laurel does have this massive injection of gold set to come in. Curious to see if it's just going to be the Ags Rush here for our Beastmaster, which it does feel like it is the kind of game for it. And he will get priority on those stacks. Some good injection coming out there for Rue as well on the stack gold. Doesn't look like we'll get any contest for Wisdom, Shrines of Wisdom, but Panto, bit of a freebie.
Panto gonna drop nice and easy. PMA's just having the freest game of his life on this Underlord. It's been an absolutely fantastic time for him. Just about to hit the level 6 mark as well, so we'll have the Fiend's Gate any moment now.
I love this
I mean, you
little
look at the
reaction
top 2
as
cores
well.
from Navi, Jonathan. I mean, this Husker top,
scanning.
followed by PMA. Again, having a great old time.
Tower is under
No
attack.
real contest right now from Team Spirit. I think more detrimental is like the net worth of Yatoro is just looking very sad at the moment. You know? I mean,
Yeah.
sure, he can catch up quick, but, you know, it's an out.
It is an elf. And until you hit that Radiance timing, you know, your farming pace isn't particularly impressive. At least you have some efficiency with Acid Spray. It's just not going to go quick. You can't take these stacks. You know, maybe the Ancients later on, but it's going to be quite a fair bit more time until that's up. I wanted to say, I love the ward game and the reaction from Team Spirit here. Navi had that good ward behind the tier 1 bot. There was the sentry droppage here by Yatoro to just ensure he's safe to farm. It's not giving him as much space, but he did clear out those camps before this rotation kicked in. Still Yatoro.
Jumping again. Yatoro just not getting anything here. Lal at least finds Riddies. in the meantime and is pressuring that tier 1 mid tower quite nicely. In fact, you do have Niku playing with fire right now, but he's got Panto down. He'll try to armor toggle through it, and Lal is not gonna make it out. You gotta be careful, John. In fact, they're gonna go through the Fiends game. It's one of the things against Husker. Something that really pisses me off, John, is a good Husker play when it comes to armor. You know when you got that classic Husker player that just you can't kill him no matter how hard you try, because he bought armor and he can just toggle it so well.
Yep.
You know those guys?
It's fantastic.
They just sicken you, don't they? Like, what's wrong with?
Yeah. No, but it's great. You know, I think that's the one piece of skill expression that I can appreciate. Doom out. But
yeah, stop playing. Bayuk. Nothing he can do about it. Just dead. Navi, I mean, they really are just playing this perfectly, I want to say. I had some small doubts after the mid lane, but like you said, I mean, that wasn't even Niku doing anything wrong. He just forced the Beastmaster to the jungle. That was it. You know? Yeah. Nothing's really gone wrong here for Navi.
No. And for the side of Team Spirit, again, there's just not much you can do. Your Bat Rider is still level 5. You're going to be waiting on Blink. Your Silencer doesn't have Global Silence. You can't really force an issue with just the Pango with 2 underleveled supports. So you are just going to be stuck waiting a little bit more. And I have to say, from the games or the series we watched, Mikey, it always feels like we've gotten a lot of really rough starts for a lot of teams. The translation rate into a turnaround, I don't think has been the highest. The conversion of being behind in the first 10 minutes into a win has been a little bit harder to achieve, at least in this patch from the teams we've watched. So this spells good news for Navi. Of course, it doesn't guarantee them victory, but the foundations are set. We talked about the timing for that armlet. Niku's just willing to show up. He's going for the BKB next. He's not going to be concerned about any full piece. At least you're going to have to either lasso him or roar him. And that's going to, again, provide space for Navi on the other course to try to mess around later on. They're not applying the most pressure in mid, but they've got the heroes around now to try to get the job done. Yatoro is still a ways off from the Radiants to farm up those stacks. So again, you're just not getting that gold injection in the Alpha. It's just going everywhere else. Laurel does look like he should be inching towards that Ag soon. So you will have the Drums of Slam, but I have to say this very quick Drums of Slam timing just feels incomplete. Yeah, most teams even just wait back for the full blink before you even commit with Drums of Slam later on.
Bottom. They're going to find themselves Riddies going for a dive, forcing at least the roar out. They'll take whatever kill they can get right now, Team Spirit. They just need the catch-up gold, the catch-up farm, and the catch-up time. A lot of catch-up. Not enough chips here, Jonathan. Not for Team Spirit.
No. Gotta fire up the fryer. Get some more chips in. It's gonna take some time to cook up, Mike. Good
why
reference.
are you even
That's
going
great.
off of that, John? It was a horrible...
No,
it was such
good.
a horrible
It
thing.
made sense. It made sense, Mikey. It takes some time to fry up a good chip.
Don't
You have to
lie.
fry it once, let it rest, fry it again, get the timing right, and when that timing is perfect, that's when you can come back in. 14 straight. It's gonna take some time.
You don't even like
What?
chips, John. You're a rice guy.
I like chips. I like them, but I don't get how you could have a meal without rice. You know?
What do you mean?
Like a good steak, I'm gonna have it with rice, Mikey. You'd pay extra for that rice. Still, Smoke Up from Navi, they're not paying extra for this. They might get a little bit of a bonus if they find a target.
that to
Too
the
late
Irish,
to
John?
find the stacks. No,
Would you say
but
to Irish
they get a
people?
pass. They get a pass. They love the potato.
Well, he's getting no pass here, John. Well, he's going to die, and so will Batyuk, by the way. I hate to be that guy.
Radiant's middle tower.
Batyuk's also dead. Daze will secure the kill on the Rubik. There was a Doom committed. Fair enough. But 2-9 right now. Things are very bad again. I hate to be that guy, but things are pretty bad for Team Spirit. And,
So
and the thing is, with this Navi draft, John, we were saying this during the draft. If you win out your lanes, it's going to be a rough time for Spirit. That's kind of what's happening.
That's exactly it. Again, you just need so much time, and it's just so hard to see how you build up this farm now on the side of Team Spirit. And you're trying, Yatoro, again, still a ways off from that full Radiance. It's just what it is with Yalk, but at least he's not bottom network core. But Yalk is really coughing it here. Just no space to farm, no farm priority on stacks, all the way behind. I wanted to make note, what do you mean you hate to be that guy? You hate to be the guy doing your job? Or telling us what's going on? What do you hate here, Mike?
I'm just being the, you know, the negative guy.
They're
That's
bad
your job.
news. Yeah, well, I mean, for Team Spirit,
I
you
don't
could
mind
spin
the
it. You know, you could make it happy news for Navi, bad news for Team Spirit, happy days for Navi. 2-9,
No, but you know,
FMK
it's
bettors are happy.
It's not like I mind the bad music. It's just that it's obvious, you know? It's like seeing a guy getting beaten up and saying, oh man, that guy's really copping a beating, huh? You know, it's like, I can't help. I can't help Team Spirit, John. That's the problem. I feel like I've got to step in here. Because someone disconnect. I'll step in. Someone disconnect. I've got a good VPN, John. Trust me, the ping's not going to be that bad. I promise.
I mean, this might pan out. Smoked up. They've got the blink on Rue. That's something they can play behind now. Global silence set to go. They just need the angle in. And you catch Nico off guard here, but this time it could be awkward. His BKB's just coming in. You have to get the lasso first. If not, this Husker might just end up being fine. They don't even find the angle. They spend a lot of time circling around top. They don't really have the vision. They at least drop one ward in that top jungle here for Team Spirit, but they don't translate this. Still, they hang on to this blink timing on Room. You could still make something happen if someone shows up here on the side of Navi. They need to make this work. Still, Navi's the one smoking up now with that BKB on Niku.
Why wouldn't they? They know they can't be beaten in a team fight right now. There's Panto. The team doesn't even bother turning around for him. They just leave it to Niku. Just no point.
No.
And it's just, again, there is a world where Team Spirit does the classic Team Spirit thing and just carries the game later on anyway with Yatoro. He is playing Alchemist. You know, the farm's covered.
Wait.
What is it, John?
Hold on here. Why is Yatoro queuing up Ags after Radiance? Is he actually going to gift an Ags?
I mean, surely there's some good. Maybe Lal? Like, no, Lal's got Ags. Lal's got his Ags, but.
I mean, he gets bonus damage and a little bit more Grieveld's Greed, but no, he gets a Grieveld's Greed bonus now as well. I don't know if it's worth it though. I hope it's just a little bit of a troll, like, oh, maybe. Still top, maybe, PMA.
Dragged around, PMA, and he kills a good kill right now and they'll get it. Lal will be really happy about that. I'm really unsure if this Ags is worth, but I guess they're going to give a free Ags to the Pango and work it out from there. Maybe.
I would, honestly, I feel like it might be higher priority on Rue. Double lasso at this point just feels good. It just feels good even early, I think. And that could be one way to go. Roshan being taken by Niku. See if he stays on point with his toggles. Of course he does. Should be able to find this for free.
Don't mess
And he's
this up.
fine.
Don't mess it up. Oh,
There you go.
He's alright.
It's Niku. You
Nothing
can't
more
doubt
embarrassing
Niku.
than messing the arm of the toggle up, John. Nothing more embarrassing.
You know, I'm sure if Niku heard you say this, he'd show up and tell you, "Shut up, man." How
He'd
dare
never
you
say
doubt?
that to me. He'd never say that. And he, you know, it's like the friends my kids have, you know? Like, they just look terrified when I show up. I don't know why. I'm a nice guy. I don't do anything wrong, you know? They just look terrified. That's what Niku looks like when he sees me. He talks to you. You know, says, hello, John. Shut up, John. He doesn't even, you know, he doesn't make eye contact with me, John. That's okay.
This top lane, Riddies.
We love you. Riddies, call it out. Very nice. These are great kills. These are great kills for Team Spirit. Do they defend
just a
bottom
little.
tier 2?
It goes a little bit too fast. Niku with the age is probably not something you want to confront. This pressuring up top is a pretty big win. So they're getting almost the tier 2 up top as well in exchange for the tier 2 bot, which is fine in terms of map control and the gold injection you get anyhow. So you're evening it out a little bit. Mind you, you are playing with an out 4K behind overall net for 45K, but you're riding out this big spike from Niku as best as you can. You're hitting these item spikes that are opening possibilities. The Ags up on Laurel to help find these solo pickoffs, the blink on Rue to do the same. It is an Ags for Yatoro. So who does he give this Ags to? It's either Batyuk or Rue, right? It's either Batrider or Pango. Maybe you just go for the Pango, relieve Batyuk of some farm, and farm pressure, have him have that utility in the shield crash, and kind of hope for the best from there. which does make sense. And for the Alchemist, it doesn't hold you back as much. Have to see how much it pays off. For NAVI, there is concern that they need to go a bit quicker here, right? Like, as it scales up, like you said, this Alchemist does become a little bit of a problem. The damage really starts up to rack up here from Batyuk. The team fight gets a bit oppressive with, say, Global Silence and Lasso being a factor. So you do want to play around here in NAVI. They've got the Ags up on PMA. Maybe they start to connect with the Smoke as well, and the BKB on the Juice. Some safety nets for all the cores now. Just need to find a good target. But Team Spirit have been pretty slippery. Again, these top wards have been giving them a lot of leeway, although down on mid.
No, Brew, maybe baiting. In fact, no, Lasso was dragging back PMA, but PMA, he's a tanky boy. The Global Silence, even not allowing them to take him down. Maybe eventually they can. PMA, he'll finally drop. It just took so much, but it's still worth it. Yeah, you know, it's a 1-for-1 trade. They get a silencer for their trouble. Still very worth for Team Spirit. It's just taking a lot of work to find these kills.
And it is. It does make it hard to go for the defense next, though. You dropped Global Silence, Lasso, literally all your ultimates down here from Team Spirit, where, yes, you did pop Egg, but you've got Doom. You've still got the Fiend's Gate when that respawn comes in for PMA. So you are still feeling confident here on the side of NAVI. See how far they push. Just going for the top tier 1 so far. You do have enough gold for that Ags and Yatoro. We'll have to see who gifts it to. And again, maybe this Ags on Batyuk can make the difference. They are setting up to try to force something down bot here.
Yatoro, pings were coming out. He'll retreat immediately. Quick TP is going to make it just in time. There's your Ags up. Who does he want to give it to?
Batyuk.
Okay.
On the back.
So yeah, he
so
does
Pango.
go for the Pango. Yeah, I mean, you know. And now the question is, do you go for the second one straight away? I think the answer should just outright be no.
No,
but
he's queuing a second one. He's got it after Manta. I like that. This is some great stuff from Yatoro. I mean, look at that Batyuk's network. Suddenly #1 off the Ags blessing. He's just skyrocketed up after having a pretty rough time. His fate was rewarded, Mike. He asked and he received. Outstanding.
He did. It's a weird thing too, like the Pango Ags, it's so much damage. You know, in the middle of a big fight. It's just, you just underestimate how much it does. Here we go. I mean, Team Spirits, again, slowly clawing their way back into this game, to say the least. It may not look that pretty, but they're getting there. You kind of wonder if NAVI, if they need to be a tad more aggressive, quite frankly. I mean, the Aegis is going to expire in 10. They should still have first dibs on the next Aegis, but you never know. Maybe they wait out the Niku Ag and himself before they go. You know, that taunt is pretty damn nice.
That it is. I think, again, there is pressure to play faster for the side of NAVI. The scaling is a little bit of an issue, but I feel like you're itemizing properly for a longer game. Anyhow, look at Got the Juice's build. Echo Saber Blink, going for the full Assault Purist next. He's keeping his Alpha Wolf passives on him, so he's got a lot of damage. Once that full AC is up, he's got the attack speed to try to proc some crits here. It can get pretty painful. And your only downside right now on this Doom is your lack of armor anyhow. Once you have the AC, you don't care as much about, say, the Acid Spray softening you up. So it should be enough to try to sustain in the middle of a team fight. What's lacking for Navi is, again, we haven't seen him take an opportunity for a wider team fight. Well, that's really down to Team Spirit being extra slippery themselves. Maybe baiting out with his Haste Rune? No.
Jump in. Well, he's going to turn onto Niku. Niku taking 0 damage. Now a Lasso out, holding down the Husker, but he's still just not taking enough damage. He'll turn around and fight. Rue is down. And this is not looking to be the fight that Team Spirit were hoping for. They do get the Egg of Riddies, but that's about all they've got thus far, as they will continue trying to deal with Niku. Niku, armor toggle not out yet. He's just so tanky. Just doesn't even need it. Just heals through it.
Yeah. It's that lack of healing reduction. Batyuk doesn't have... Ooh.
That's an easy one on Panther as well.
I would say for Batyuk right now, he is queuing up Nullifier, which does make a lot of sense against a lot of ways of just dragging heroes around, but this Urn of Shadows not being upgraded to the full Spirit Vessel for health restoration reduction, you need it against this Husker. You are seeing issues. Niku just heals right through. No problems at all. Even when he's isolated away, gets stunned like 3 times. That was a rather strange position for Team Spirit. Laurel was, I believe, under smoke, trying to bait out with a haste, runs back, doesn't manage to roar from the dive of the Phoenix, maybe just outside range of vision, opts to back off, and he gets punished for being spotted right at that moment with smoke break. And the rest of Team Spirit weren't quite behind him. So the follow-through wasn't clean. The punishment is severe from Navi, and this is the kind of team fight Navi has been looking for. Something big, something where they can just rush in, get the backline jump with his Underlord Ags, and just provide these openings for the Doom and Husker to get the job done. Rotate across.
Lasso, gonna catch one. Riddies almost down. Icarus diving away though. Meanwhile, Riddies is gone eventually, but Batyuk will go with him. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Navi. Spirit desperately trying to find some good trades, but they're just not happening. And now Yatoro even. Not necessarily safe. The chase is on. They want more. And all they need is Niku. Yatoro's got no ward to tell him they're coming either. Jump in, shield crash from Daze, life breakout, taunting the Alchemist. At least he might get a bash, a stun rather, but no. It doesn't matter. It's tough. And you know what I just noticed as well, John? The changes to Seeds of Serenity with Hustle. It's pretty yuck.
Isn't it?
Plus 25% health regen.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty
That's
yuck when it
insane.
comes to Hustle. That's so yucky.
Yeah, health restoration is just kind of crazy right now, and Husker's benefiting massively. I mean, again, a simple urn upgrade here for Batyuk would help. He does have the urn, just needs a Spirit Vessel, but is hanging on for now, and going for the full Nully into the Lincolns for some defensiveness, especially up against the Doom and Lip, ensuring that he can always get the roll, but you need something with health restoration reduction. And again, Shivas is not that answer anymore. Scotty still is, but you don't really have great Scotty here, or at least not an early rush for Yatoro for sure. And Yatoro is still keeping that Ags queued up, by the way. So I'm guessing that's just going to be for Rue, which is massive. I'm wondering how fast that Ags will come out on, because, you know, there's only so much time in this game. Mind you, we're 25 minutes in. It's not the end of the world. 8k disadvantage, though, with an Alk does not feel great. Roshan is back up. Navi's in position to take it, and they should be able to find it no problems here. Full AC for Got the Juice. Still a ways off, but he does have attack speed with a Hyperstone. Has some fat crits with that critical strike from the Alpha Wolf. And Roche shouldn't take too long. Again, you have blink angles here if you want to play the Rue, but Team Spirit's just a bit too far out. I do love what they're doing to compensate. They are sieging the top tier 3, trying to force a response out. That should slow things down a tad. Oh. Batyuk?
They got Batyuk as well. That's a real shame. It's just the state of the game right now. I can't outright say that Spirit got outdrafted, but the Husker picks certainly put a spanner in the works for them. And I think that they felt as though they were still going to be fine, but then you had a POS 1 Doom come out after, and it's just like, it just makes it impossible. I mean, I think Daze kind of tells you how I feel right now, John. I kind of feel bad. What are they meant to do here? There's genuinely not really an answer for Team Spirit.
No.
Here we go again. Panto's down. There's really no answer. Yeah, like it's... Hope Yatoro gets more farm, I guess, and maybe 4 more Ags and, you know, a disconnection on Navi's end. Something.
I think your saving grace here has to be lasso high ground defense, right? Like we've seen some big lasso plays kind of buy you a lot of time with getting a key target in, getting that first down, forcing second thoughts and team sieging. So you do have that kind of play here with Rue, especially if he gets that Ags from Yatoro. It just kind of makes it easier to snipe some heroes, although Yatoro has repositioned. Looks like he wants the BKB first now, which is fair enough. But yeah, I think so long as the high ground siege hasn't fully commenced, you're always still somewhat safe as Team Spirit. And the lasso threat is high. It's hard to see the angles with how Navi's playing. It has been relatively clean so far, outside of maybe a couple of pickoffs coming out here for Team Spirit. So there is hope. It's just a very narrow view now, or a narrow opportunity to kind of get that comeback. But there is still a chance, a marginal chance. They just need to see that opportunity. Navi has been playing really clean, as mentioned, and there's not much really stopping them. Niku's playing with full confidence, just sieging a 3-2 tower by himself, no creeps. Catch one.
Oh, Yatoro. Caught out, completely alone, trying for a TP, play the global silence. No, he cancels. TP cancelled. Was there a stun? They were all silenced. I mean, I guess they could have BKB'd on this Husker and just taunted him with the life ray. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered.
No. I think he was also concerned that he did camp unstable first.
Naso does drag back Daze. Daze is actually proven to be a lot tankier than you'd expect, and now a bit of malice to lock down two of them. That'll be rude. Going down very quickly here to Niku. Certainly one of the games where you don't blame Team Spirit if they just randomly call it.
No.
At least they'll get a nice courier. And Niku's Lotus Orb was on there, so that's gone.
Yeah, but it almost feels unnecessary for Niku anyhow. Maybe just, having a Dispel on hand is nice against the silence, and, a reflected roar perhaps is big, but...
Oh, they got into
Laurel.
mid lane. Dave. Easiest catch of his life. That's gonna hurt for Lal. He's just trying to creep, skip, and buy more time. It's just, who are you buying time for? That's the question I have on my mind. Yeah. I mean, I guess the answer is Yatoro and Rue, but it's just so much time you've got to buy in this game one.
Yeah, just way too much. And again, Navi's not really looking to play slow. They're onto that high ground. Niku's just been putting his body forward anyhow. They're still trying to catch. You might see Batyuk here.
Oh, they're gonna see him? Yeah, they got it. Yeah. They'll even doom him up just in case he wants to play some games. Meanwhile, the mid-ranks is being forced in, by the way. I mean, they're not stopping the push. There's no need to stop the push.
No.
It really does feel like Niku could 1v5 right now.
He could. There's just not enough to stop him. Not enough to rip through his regeneration either. And he'll just get the 3 set of racks. Go for the bot as well. Top protected with the tier 2 at the least, so... You're not going to get megas here, but... I'm not sure what more you can really do. Outside of, again, a great lasso. Somehow. Navi just does not care. They've got amp damage on Laurel, maybe. That could do some work, perhaps.
One racks. They'll try to slow this down. Team Spirit, I mean, it's at least waiting for this Pangli to respawn, and they won't have the opportunity anyway. Oh, Yatoro. He's in trouble. Poor old Yatoro. Nothing the man can do. What can you do?
No.
And guess what, John? You can go right back through that Fiend's Gate if you want. And that they will. They're going to go for another fight. They found Lal. Lal, he's out for now with the BKB, but he's still on fire. He's still being caught. Just call it, boys. Spare yourself the torture. BKB run out of there from Rue, but there's 3 down. Make it 4. Niku. No need for the voice line, sir. It's just no need. You played Husk.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it is Niku. He is known for his Husker. See if they can try to do something, but no war for a few more seconds here.
They're going to try along one last time. Rue immediately doomed up. No games. He can buy back. If it was Batyuk who got doomed up.
Oh.
It'll be another. Lal is gone. Batyuk rather also caught out. Nothing he can do about it. Do they just count him back for the last? Daze is thinking about it. They'll call GG in the end. Now, Team Spirit, but maybe they took the time to talk about what went wrong. That's what because I mean, definitely probability-wise, that game was looking very ugly. Obviously, we are in day 4. They need to find wins here. You are kind of fighting for your lives at this stage.
To Batyuk, combine, say, early level 6s, Vortex into Boat, into Torrent, or vice versa, and kind of work it out that way, get some early pickoffs, really get the game going. You shouldn't be too locked out of lane here as well for good old Laurel. As Sand King, he can just stand there in Sandstorm, but you can just play with Static Remnant. It's really not the biggest problem here for Laurel. You can just static slide. Maybe it's harder to get your value point with your Overload. And again, you're going to have to spend some money on mid-sentries here.
I was going to say, Dota Plus is giving Team Spirit a 60% win chance already. Is it a bit high? Who just likes the draft that much, huh?
I suppose.
30
Has
Dota, but
belief in the Lone Druid.
Gaben's called it. 60%.
How many times has the early Dota Plus win advantage ever translated to victory? I don't think I remember how often us pointing that stat out and the team winning has really worked out. I don't think it's been that high.
I'm pretty sure it's 100% of the time. Well, when's TI on again? What date's that on?
August,
you?
September?
battle begins.
It's 100%. But you'll be okay.
3 for 1?
3 for 1 in the bounty runes. Very, very nice here for the side of Navi once again. Excuse me, rather for Team Spirit. My apologies. 3 for 1 trade their way. Mid lane, you're going to have this mid Sand King of Niku. He's going to be up against the mid Storm Spirit of Lal. This lane, I mean, it feels pretty back and forth. I don't think anyone outright just destroys the lane.
Yeah, it's going to be fine for Laurel. Again, you play with Sandstorm here for Niku, but Laurel already has a sentry on hand anyway to help protect. He's trying to just deny. Niku's just going to shove in every time. Laurel has to just be conscious about his positioning. And again, it's a little bit harder perhaps for him to leverage that overload hit when he drops a remnant, but yeah, it's manageable enough. You're not going to be jungling at least for Laurel in comparison to that game 1. For Niku, this is the one difference compared to the Husker. Like, yeah, Sand King also has some early spikes, but you wait for much bigger items than just armlets. So you're looking for Ags, you're looking for Blink, maybe a BKB, or a Shivas as well, or sometimes even, I don't know if it's popular now, but Bloodstone could be alright as well, if you want that. Maybe not the highest priority, and you kind of get going there. So it's much more farm intensive. Although, good start for Yatoro.
Days. Oh, he got the Lone Druid experience right there, John. Just the entangle, the run down, and you know, it's a Rubik LD lane. Like, you get lifted into that bear, you're basically just dead. This Lycan's never going to be able to help you. You know?
No.
That's the lane they're in here for Navi.
Yeah, that's the one thing you have to be cautious about, right? Like, giving Rude a Rubik down bot, having that stable lift back setup does make it really difficult for you to just play your own game here for the side of PMA. And that's in stark contrast to game 1, where it felt like Yatoro was under constant pressure. You had a much more aggressive duo. Shadow Demon Lycan is just much more passive. There's no way you play around with disruption. You're just probably going to be stacking here very early on days. And you are getting some good pulls from PMA, really good micro on the Wolves just to get that safe EXP. Again, you're kind of giving a free lane out there down bot. Up top is a little bit more poke and prod. Batyuk has a lot of pressure he can apply onto Got the Juice. He's got the range advantage just playing with the Tidebringer. You've got some better poke potential here for Ponto, as you can kind of just start to really apply that leverage onto Got the Juice with the Ursa. Not much you can really do to try to dissuade him from aggression. Maybe by level 2 to 3 here, Navi could consider a play with Inkswell value.
They'll lift it up again, Days. He's trying to run, but they got the entangle. It makes me so sick to see that guy, you know?
He's in great.
It really does. Because that last hit from Yatoro gets the root. The bear was nowhere near. He gets entangled and just dies to the DPS. It's just so young.
It's fantastic.
Niku, dropping low, needs some help. Out of mana is Lal, and an uphill miss is what I think I just saw. Bit unfortunate for Lal if that was the case. So I'm getting old, John, so I could have misseen. Niku's going to stick around. Lal's got mana this time with the clarity. You would think there's a kill about to happen. But nothing's come. Nothing's
Niku's just playing. Niku's playing a lot safer. Top though, maybe some risk here.
But you're not happy right now against Got the Juice, but they are doing a lot of damage here. Back the way of Got the Juice, who does end up eventually falling after taking the life of the Kunkka. And oh, look at that. Panto, a double kill for the Silencer, +3 in for himself.
Nice little start for Panto. And again, Navi's trying to play around that aggression with having Inkswell up at level 3. But it's just so much damage. And it's so tanky on Batyuk. You have to respect that Admiral's Run, that delayed damage here that Ursa has to E3. You don't have a value point in Overpower either, so it's a slow process, even if you do manage to land that Inkswell up. And you trade a little bit roughly. Again, you have a lot more bite here from the side of Team Spirit. Down mid, Niku applying some pressure.
We're going again, Niku. Will be okay to retreat, so will Lol. Both these heroes still very low in the HP department. Looks like Lol is eventually going to be forced to retreat back towards the fount. I mean, at this stage, considering how close you've gotten, you may as well make the run. But that is going to allow Niku to go for this creep pull. In fact, he's going for the bounty. I thought he was going to be extra greedy. He is going to be extra greedy.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. I mean, you never know. Are they coming? No, Yatoro is busy right now killing PMA. So it looks like it's not that dangerous. But PMA is indeed getting the LD experience as well. Meanwhile, got the juice going down to Batyuk. Panto dies, and there goes PMA. Top. Brew trying to get away. They will get him eventually with the stroke of fate of Riddies, but they do lose days to Batyuk, who's having a pretty good start to his game on this Conquer.
It's just so hard to shove out, though. You get a start.
They're going to try again. Batyuk still able to run. You don't really have any points in overpower right now either, as Niku now also getting chased into the T1 tower. Oh, Team Spirit, very fiery in this game too.
You love to see it. Again, it's just down to how they set their lanes. It's a lot more play from both sides. This lone druid being active early with a Rubik. This Conka that's constantly baiting them in. It's kind of crazy that Batyuk's gotten away with it so many times, but it's just so durable. Can't do these fights without the overpower. They scout out these stacks as well. Ru keeps an eye on the triangle. Does get the block off. Or rather, not the block, but does get the sentry down to spot vision. And Lar will even steal some farm away. That's so important for Niku to find. They can't even contest. So freebies coming out for Laurel. A bit of a dangerous spot for Navi. They are relying on these Shadow Demon stacks to even hit a sweet spot here. And again, we've seen what happens when Sand King falls behind. It's not a pretty picture for Navi, but a very clean one. So Laurel is still hunting here.
He is, and he's chasing Niku. Keep in mind, Shrine of Wisdom is coming up, so Niku preemptively is getting ready to try and help take this for his team, because they are quite far behind down to this bottom lane, and it's just not going to be a fun time when you've got Yatoro and Lol both here ready to go. Zip onto the high ground. Niku, though, forced to retreat. Can't stick around. Bottom, maybe they can take the other shrine. They're onto Batyuk. Batyuk will drop. Problem is, got the juices just dropped so low in HP, and he could not stick around long enough for the Shrine of Wisdom. All he can do is run. More int to go the way of Panto. Meanwhile, bottom, they'll try for PMA, but now the turnaround back towards Lal, who still has enough mana to zip away, and you just don't have the lockdown for it. You ain't got it.
No. And that's the one thing that makes the Storm pick really scary in the draft. Your support dude just doesn't do much unless you get the Phantom's Embrace off, which easier said than done. Not the fastest way of locking down either, so you always have this window here for the Storm.
Very nice from Team Spirit. Really abusing the draft they've got for themselves here, as Yatoro even pushing out the top tier 1 tower. This is more like the Team Spirit you expect to see.
Yep.
Much more like.
And again, that's the big difference having lanes to play does make. You know, you weren't crushed mid. You're getting a strong start bot. You're managing get kills up top. You're on the back foot for Navi right now. You need to wait for so much more. We'll try and Panto at least.
Not going to give Panto a crack. You go get him. Panto's going to drop, but now can you get got the juice out of there? Well, at least now he's level 6. He's got Enrage. So you've got some form of defense now for the Ursa. But his net worth, I mean, it's pretty abysmal when it comes to the carry department. And well, got the juice. Looks like he wants to fight again. Batyuk is being hunted down. Top lane, they're going to try. Batyuk, silence is there. He's a tanky boy, but the Fury Swipes have started to add up, and he will die. These kills will matter a lot here for Got the Juice. Like, he needs the gold right now. He's got no components apart from that Ring of Health for his Battle Fury at the moment.
And he's just so far behind compared to Yatoro. And it's been a free game for the Lone Druid, but this timing now for Maelstrom into Ags for our Bear is just kind of getting out of control for Navi. It's not going to be easy to manage this Lone Druid.
Someone's going to correct me, John. He also had the Quelling Blade, alright? Someone's going to correct me on that. He also had the
okay. For components,
yeah.
come on.
I've got it, you know, there's always that one guy. For him.
Yeah.
For him.
That's
That was
fair.
for him. Go on.
2 parts.
My apologies.
2 parts.
Yeah.
Of the Battlefield.
2 parts.
How did you really think about that one? Still, Navi, okay, they're 2K behind it going into 10 minutes. It's not the worst situation. It's certainly not ideal, but this is when Team Spirit is online. So now you have to start thinking about how do you stop Laurel when he decides to initiate. And this Kaya timing is going to start to line up soon as well. Your Blink Ags timing for Nuku is completely shot. He's going for the Blink first, which I agree with. I don't think the Ags is as much damage. It's been constantly nerfed. So you really want the utility here instead for Nuku. And you rely on the damage from Got the Juice and from PMA once he can just shapeshift around. Your lineup on Navi again is a lot slower. So you're in the position of Team Spirit from game 1. It's not as lopsided as it was for Team Spirit, to be fair, but it is just as challenging. So see how well they can hold on to objectives, how much time they can buy for Got the Juice to at least get Battle Fury Blink, but Team Spirit's not relenting. They're clumped up mid, they're shoving away. Navi not really posturing for a defense because they just have no tools, at least not until this Blink on Niku's up, then maybe you can consider a play.
Here comes the Lone Spirit Bear. Maelstrom up now. Yatoro's had a fantastic time. Top net worth on the board. 4-0-0 is the scoreline for this LD to boot. Couldn't ask for a better game for this Lone Druid. You think he was watching Arme yesterday and just thought, oh, I gotta show Arme, you know. Arme's gonna be so impressed when I pick LD tomorrow. So what happened,
Yeah.
John? Yeah, it's probably about right.
Actually, it's a bit funny because I was checking on Yatoro for a while. He had the Bear carry, say, the Power Treads, carry the Maelstrom. Then he switched it like Ame. He switched it onto his main hero. Wants to just farm up a little bit quicker on the main. Yeah. You know, seeing that it was highly efficient when you just shift onto Bear after down the bot.
Well, they are going to find a Rubik. I mean, if you're Navi, this is the kind of game where every single pick-off matters. Especially right now. Because you're just trying to buy some comeback time for your Ursa. Hell, even PMA, the guy who just found the kill, like, he's had a horrible time on this line. He's still at 4.5k net worth. He needs the time just as much. Top lane, but again being hunted down. They just will not relent. Leave him alone. He's an admiral. He's an honorable man. How dare they?
Yeah, but it's a war for the Ancients, Mike. You know, and it's a war for a place in Wallachia playoff. So no mercy to be had from Navi.
Yatoro being stalked by the wolves. This is where that line can start to get really annoying. Yatoro.
Ooh.
Oh, Nico, cut it out. Nico, calm down. Calm down. Now, this is what I always say to this young man. He's too cocky. He's too damn cocky, this Nico kid.
Yeah, but I think they have a good reason to feel kind of confident in Navi. And like we were seeing that lead, we were talking about Yatoro's net worth. Everyone else is kind of shot as well in Team Spirit. Like it's pretty equal in terms of net worth on all the cores, save for Yatoro, who is ahead. Even PMA, who had a rough lane, only 400 gold behind Laurel. So you're in a playable game state for Navi. You do still have a little bit more in the tank here for Spirit, to be fair. It just feels like this threat of early storm is just pretty damn high, and they'll try to leverage again. They've got Global Sounds ready to cover this jump as well.
Good position from Riddies, though. He's ready to break the smoke. Thankfully for Riddies, they have not found Yatoro, the Sursa Got the Juice either. They have grouped up their Team Spirit. It seems like they want to try and force a fight up at the top tier 2 if they can. Instead, they've decided to try and head mid, but they've also disappeared off the map, so they don't have any vision on the side of Navi at the moment. There's your Battle Fury timing on the Ursa, actually turning out to be not that bad, considering the start of the game he had. It's not bad at all. Top lane. They'll force it out once again, but that'll reveal the position of Team Spirit. And I guess for Na'Vi, they're pretty happy. You know, you're not getting a tier 2 this early. They're protecting the Ursa. Team Spirit, though, they're also really happy. I mean, you've got an LD that's free farming. This Conker's right behind him in net worth. Things are good for both sides, really. I mean, there's no reason to force anything.
I'm just wondering who it favors with parity at this point in the game. It does feel like your early Spikeman Spirit's still stronger, but you can't underestimate Na'Vi. And look at the confidence they have. They smoke up again. They de-ward on their top jungle. They've got the full Overlord here on PMA. He's got the good Tundra hide creep, a little bit of attack speed to play with. So you find targets.
Jump in. Run a strike out. They get a nice Global Silence, but the Inkswell is already there. Global Silence will keep them safe. They weren't confident in the burst potential. Now the turnaround onto Niku. Niku's going to drop. Team Spirit punishing very nicely now. They will also just zip right into Daze. And sadly for Daze, he doesn't really have many ways out of here. That's a great team fight here for Team Spirit. And something we haven't really seen much of, but just the immediate Global Silence after the initiation from Niku completely shut them down. They just had no follow-up there.
And they make the right call, Na'Vi, to just back off. They do waste their shapeshift. And it looked like a good opener, but again, when you're playing against the Silencer without VKP, you can be combo broken quite fast here on Na'Vi. This does buy them some space if they'd want to try for Roche. They could, after, especially with Global Silence down for a little bit longer. That could be an option here for Got the Juice, but it doesn't look like they're really setting up on that objective just yet. Team Spirit does have good wards to watch. It's just slightly into the pit anyhow. They might be still set to go. Batik showing.
The epicenter is out. They've got the Conker, but will go down once again. Again, these kills, they mean a lot more to Na'Vi than they do for Team Spirit.
Yeah.
Even the triangle now getting pinged out a little bit, but I think it's Team Spirit just saying stay there.
They should know Roche is going to be a threat at some point. Maybe in the next 3 minutes right before the switch. That should be the timing you look for here on Na'Vi. You do have the blink up on Got the Juice, although.
I'd love Lal. Lal's not an easy target. He's going to invisible bottle up as well. In fact, he's going to be the one to zip in, trying to start this fight. Inkswell will help, but the Barrow Strike will not land. Some nice chip from Lal. And he will be able to successfully escape the side of Na'Vi. Probably just happy they haven't lost anything here. The pressure will continue being applied. Team Spirit, they're still forcing in that top lane. They're still hanging around mid. They're looking to infiltrate the Dire jungle and start to take over this area. This is the area Got the Juice has been farming in for the last 15 minutes or so, I want to say. You know, you'd love to just take over this part of the map, but they're a bit hesitant here, Team Spirit. Still waiting. It's still a little bit early. Na'Vi, you can see how they just put their bodies to protect the area as well. Just ensure that there's no angles for them to smoke in through.
Receptacle and Na'Vi though.
They're going. Burrow Strike is out. They caught Rue with that. They did have the follow-up. He does go down, but here's the Global Silence. Still Lal. Lal got silenced as well with the Remnant. He's still alright though. The Zip TP away. He's going to make it. Scary times though. You almost lose Lal, and that's something I know he doesn't look that important with the net worth, but he's pretty important. You don't want to see him dying.
No, you did blow Global Silence, so there's a big opening for Na'Vi. They're not going to care right now. They're going to keep hunting.
No, certainly not. Chase is on. But that torrent slowing them down. Putting an end to the chases. It seems like Yatora now is the one chasing them down. A very angry bear indeed. Soulbind's going to be thrown out, but they will leave Riddies to die. Let Riddies tank the gank. I would have said, you know, maybe you could start to think about Roshan plays, but it is just a Grimstroke dying. Low cooldown on the respawn. And so Yatora right back to the farm game. Though I will say, John, my main concern right now for Spirit is the fact that you've got the Juice, who basically is 40. He's just about 1k behind the LD, and if you ask me between the LD and Ursa, I'm picking Ursa every day.
Yeah, it just scales a lot more straightforward. You know, I mean, the LD just has a lot of split push, and Yako is just about to hit that Axe, but
through. Catching a nice one. Disruption, though, going to buy time. But Yuk going to move in as well. And Daze, he's going to be left to die. Nice little pick up here for Team Spirit.
Radiant
Navi, they're playing it very cautiously, right? Niku's not looking for the counterplays to jump in, even with Global Silence down. Even after that spell gets blown up, they've been very cautious on the side of Navi, understanding how close this game is. This is the opening for Roshan now, going the way of Got the Juice, though. Does blink in and just get this done by himself. Should be able to find it no problem. And that might be concerning for Team Spirit. However, next team fight, they will have GS ready to go. But the timings for Navi, again, it's starting to line up. Ag's coming in for Niku. You've got the Orchid lined up for PMA to help hold down Laurel when he does jump in. A hard silence is going to do wonders here to actually find that kill in the storm. For Yatoro, again, he's got his own Ags already running. He's got his bear that can just kind of roam around now, independent of him, and just get that farm constantly escalating, get the laning pressure up. You are also scaling just a bit more in Batyok. He does have some tankiness on hand with the wraps. It hasn't felt like it just yet, but it is a start and just trying to be a nuisance here in the Kunkka. He has bought a lot of space for his team.
Dire are scanning.
It's really the star of the show is Laurel, like you've been saying this entire time. Like, yeah, the farm's in Yatoro, but Laurel is making plays. Is your key piece of the puzzle that can kind of maximize that global silence, maximize the X hold, the torrent combination, and he's the one that you really need to protect. Which, again, this Orchid timing that Navi is looking for should help to counteract. You're not too far off now for PMA to get that done. They'll be able to find the Tormentor here on the side of Team Spirit, get themselves a nice free shard underway onto Panto. So
Very
just
nice.
a little bit more with a glaze. Maybe not the most important shard in the world,
Is
but
under attack.
a nice little bonus nonetheless. Still, the one thing that gets worrisome for Team Spirit is as you approach BKB timings, this game does get tougher, right? Because you don't have something that just goes through BKB. You don't have Lasso here, you don't have Roar. Once these BKBs are popped, if Global Silence was wasted already, then there's nothing stopping Navi in the middle of these fights. And you're going to have one on
It's
Niku
alright.
relatively soon.
Time for the bear. Disruption will be out. Hey, bears! You know, they don't mean quite as much, I want to say, these days. Still a lot of gold, if you can get them. He's just... You really just don't have to lock down this game for this bear.
No.
You know? It's just one of those games. Like, maybe when you've got a basher on this Ursa, you can start to be a nuisance, but... For now, the bear's pretty safe.
Yep.
Can I just say as well, I don't agree with this,
Yep.
this 95-second cooldown on the bear. I feel like it should be more punishing than that, quite frankly.
Yeah. Wasn't it like... Only,
It was
it ever
worse back in
longer?
the day.
Wasn't it 120 seconds
wasn't it?
before or something? Or 180? Something
I
dumb.
swear it was.
Yeah, like a good long time if you misplayed your dare. Well, I mean, you know, balance things out. You know, they want people to play Lone Druid Mighty. They want it to be viable.
Why?
Because every hero should be viable. Smoke,
That's
Batyuk.
not what they said about my heroes. Batyuk, X down by himself. The nice global silence going to put an end to all of it as Lal jumps in, but is going to be saved with the disruption. Riddy's perfectly fine for now as Batyuk soul-binded by himself. Nobody dead yet. There we go. Finally one down as Riddy's gets torn a new one by Yatoro with the Spirit Bit. Niku's still waiting, keep in mind, on that Radiant jungle high ground, but just never found the angle for an Epicenter Burrow Strike initiation. They just didn't see it.
No.
They saw Riddy's go down and they said, screw this. That's enough.
Yeah, again, Navi is very cautious. This time around, Niku was too far from the start of that fight. Like, when Global Silence popped, he was right around the Watcher area in that bot jungle. So once it faded away, he wasn't even in position to try to Burrow Strike Epi. And that was just a little bit of an awkward, kind of opportunistic fight for Navi.
Niku. Niku. Oh, this could be decent timing, though. He's got an Ursa.
Ooh.
He's got an Ursa nearby. Got the juice. Not going to be able to finish the job on the Storm, but does get himself a Rubik.
Radiant's bottom
That's a bit of a
tower
tongue
is
twister
under
if you say
attack.
that fast enough. Still, not the most meaningful kill. I think for Navi, the key thing to do is
Radiant structures are fortified.
I'm not sure if they've really maximized this Aegis. They've managed to farm with the Storm. They haven't applied pressure, but again, this lineup does scale a little bit more straightforward. The issue is Yator is split pushing like a madman. Right, like top tier 2 is going to fall as bot tier 2 falls as well. So you're trading evenly in terms of map control here. You are seeing issues in trying to get that wider team fight. Team Spirit's not presenting anything in the front except for Batyuk. It's only this Kunta that shows up, and he's getting harder and harder to kill off. For Navi's part, it does feel like if you can't commit with Gauntlet Juice, you have a bit of advantage. Right, like it's all down to the Ursa trying to get that focused damage in. The Basher's going to help just a bit more in that aspect. You really have to find a way to control this bear, though. Yator is getting away with a lot in the split push here.
Toro, Spirit Bear out. We'll go for a run. And... oh, still in trouble. Toro, he's going, John. Savage rolls up in 3 seconds. They can't... oh, this is the problem. This is the problem.
Dire's top tower.
Like, how is the bear that fast? Like, how does that make sense? A bear's really that quick. Bottom. You think the wolf is a bit faster, wouldn't you, John? Look at this.
Well, Mikey.
What is it,
You
John?
say wolves are faster. The wolves of Ice Rack aren't particularly quick, so that's a very bad argument.
It's a
they're
very
not that
particular
fast.
argument you're making now, Jonathan.
Yeah, but they're not that quick in this game, Mikey. Bears,
No.
they're quick. Ask some people in Aomori how fast those bears are. They'll tell you. I don't think you get that reference, but they'll tell you, Mike. They'll tell you.
You're gonna make
Still.
like a Dagestan reference or something with the bear thing. But yeah, you know,
What's that?
you don't watch UFC. You don't watch MMA. I know.
No.
Top lane. Got the juice.
Quick blink.
Oh, what's wrong with you, John? Do we do anything similar? Got the juice.
I don't know.
Running. Bear versus
Gosh,
bear
that
action,
bear
ladies and gentlemen.
hurts. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a bear. That's a big bear. That's the bear she tells you not to worry about. That's the one. That's him. Look at that.
Oof.
My goodness, Rudy, just get out of it.
Oh.
That's the main character, John.
Yeah. I guess the furry version just doesn't work out as well as the real animal, I suppose. We're getting an interesting bear on bear, but soon enough, Mikey, we will end up with Bear Wolfman up against Bear. Ags, PMA, 2 parts away. That's where things can maybe get exciting. He can keep up with a bear. He can chase that bear down. As a wolf,
We could have
a
literally
fast wolf.
had Bear Wolfman if they were on the same team. Oh, imagine that, Jonathan. Imagine.
Bear Wolfman, yeah. Can you bite the lone root
I've
bear?
watched the episode, John. I get the reference. What is it, John? What's the question?
Can you bite the lone root bear as a hero
Yes.
unit?
I believe you can.
That's funny.
It says creep hero.
That's
yeah,
very
you
funny.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can literally get it. That's what I'm saying to you, Jonathan.
Such a
We
shame.
could have.
If only we had a Morphling, old Morphling, TNC
Wait, no, we have
Morphling.
Rubik. We have a Rubik. It's possible.
Oh.
It's possible here, John.
Yeah, but when would PMA ever wolf bite in enemy vision? That just seems
Radiant's top tower is under
sad. That seems
But
very
it's
sad to
possible,
do.
Jonathan. Think
It
about
is.
it.
I suppose it is.
You know?
He's already howling.
That's true.
Whenever PMA howls, he's just howling as well, Roo. He's just matching the minus damage. No damage for anyone. Oh god.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, they're just both howling. Oh wait, no, PMA's okay. Now he howls. A bit later. All right.
Gonna feel like you won, you know? Here we go. 28-minute power.
Oh,
room.
Niku.
Lal's waiting. Niku? No, Niku's gonna get lucky at spawns top. Gets a haste rune, gets the hell out of it. It's still one of those games, like as strong as your Toro looks, and he is very strong with his Spirit Bear, it's still one of those games where if you catch out a couple targets, the game completely flips on its head again. I mean, Navi, they've got 3 cores that are sitting right behind your Toro and net worth.
Radiant top tower.
I have to say, Mikey, I'm looking at the graphs.
Yeah.
I think it's a graph you're familiar with. Looks like something you've been staring at for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Look at that. Up, down. Who knows what's going to happen next? It's been exciting.
Crude oil or what?
Oh,
These
there's
oil
the
stocks?
eggs. We've got the wolf
There
bite.
it is,
Stocks are
Jonathan.
going up. It's a green.
There it is, John. There it is. Who's he biting? Of course he's biting the Ursa. I mean, isn't that Wolf Bear Man, John? It is, right?
Yeah. You gotta get Wolf Bear Man. You gotta get him
We could
going.
have two.
We'll see.
We could have had two.
We could still, if he gets the steal somehow. But they've been very cautious. Again, both sides understand that they're one mistake away from getting a huge momentum swing. So I think it's much more to play this way. Of course, they missed the stuns, and now it's Silver Edge.
Well, I mean, the Bear's running at 550 movement speed. I don't know what you want from Nick. Like, let me defend. It's max move. Like, it's just running.
Yep.
What?
It's just going.
Why is it passively at 465 with just treads? Like, that just upsets me so much.
It has 4 legs, you know, so it can run fast, Mike. Has 4 legs. Makes sense to me. Sand King, you see, Sand King gets slowing down because he has 6 legs, Mike. It's just not right. Does he have 6 or is that 4 in his model? I actually can't tell. 6. He has 6, so you know you have to walk in the corridor. Nico?
Soulbind gonna be out onto 2. A very nice Soulbind, in fact. Lyle's locked down. Yatoro, he might lose his first bear, and he will. Chase is on for Batyuk now. Batyuk will be okay. Instead, they'll chase down Rube. Batyuk, oh, what a beautiful dodge. Got the juice as well, just jumping right in as the Wolf Bear Man. Onto Batyuk. Delicious. Delicious. And Yatoro, the Spirit Bear, again. He's down. That's Double Bear's gone. Luckily, he doesn't have to wait that long.
Yeah, just a minute. Which, again, it used to feel more punishing. It's not the longest window here, although I guess Yatoro's main hero literally has nothing, so he might as well not be playing. But he can at least farm. Roche not going to take too long here, and Navi, again, they played beautifully off of this Axe. That's all he needed. A little bit more of a steroid for Got the Juice, the gap closed, to keep that chase. Full Abyssal now to keep that chain stun going. And they found the perfect targets. That was a hasty move onto Niku. I think Team Spirit were expecting to just be able to get the blow up that they've been constantly getting, but when you have these blinks on the supports of Navi, being able to be so far back now on days to get these key disruption saves, that just stalls out these fights enough that Navi can make that counterplay. They were in the right spot this time. They were clumped up together close enough. And they've got the 6k lead off the back of it. They're starting to really nip at the heels of Yatoro now in terms of net. We're at only 2k ahead now of Got the Juice. With the Aegis, they might still be set to go. Niku still has Epicenter set to go if he wants. They just don't have the forward vision to really scout here. It is a little bit rougher. They haven't been able to really cross the river all too often. So, no way of scouting forward to see where Team Spirit might try to be sneaking around or what angles they could try to find. There is Wolf Micro from PMA at least. Can give some info here.
Here we go. Bottom. Spirit Bear found out again. They don't cancel the TP though. They didn't really have many options. Back to the old Twin Gates. We'll head up to the top lane here for the side of Navi. MKB being worked on now by Got the Juice. Jump. Oh, lol. Oh, lol. Force the BKB and even a global silence. Well, that could be a bit of a yikes. That could be a yikes.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes with no GS. Big opening for Navi. They still have a lot of time in that Aegis left as well. That global silence as well, it's just such a big tool in terms of trying to prevent Navi from playing. I don't know if you even want to try right now. The disruption. He was just a bit too slippery though. Stolen Burrow Strike. They need to make some progress in the outer towers here for Navi though, right? It's again another opening here. They still have Aegis. We've seen them be very cautious in this game. At some point, you do have to take the risk. You have to start chopping this map down just a little bit more. Get some control out. Prevent this ramp up or constant ramp up from Yatoro. And even the constant scaling that's still left here for Laurel and Batyuk. Again, they're still being cautious in Navi. A lot of respect for what Team Spirit can do when they find an opening. I do love what PMA is doing. He's just constantly sending out wolves to scout. Instead of relying on wards, just use the wolves. Free vision coming out every single time. Doesn't really spot anything, but does give them a rough idea as to where Team Spirit is playing. Yatoro just being pesky with that bear. Can they kill it this time?
quite yet. They're still trying though. Bash, do they even have? No, they don't. No, they did. They did have an Abyssal Blade, just didn't get bashed. That's unfortunate.
Why does Lone Druid's Shard after... Why does he get to use Savage Roar on a stunned bear? Why? That just doesn't feel right. Because that Roar gave the opportunity for the bear to go out. And they bashed it. Cast Savage Roar in the main, it doesn't matter. You can just waddle on away.
Which is funny because Got the Juice's Aghanim Scepter upgrade as another bear allows him to kind of do the same thing, but enrage himself, like I say. But
What
he
is
needs an
this
axe.
with bears?
Well,
Yeah,
he needs an
why
axe.
is that
The Spirit
in
Bear
that?
doesn't.
Why?
Are scanning.
Well,
Why is this the favorite bear?
could you imagine how broken that would be if that wasn't an
As
Aghanim
a
Scepter?
Yeah.
So he could just enrage at any time.
Dire's middle tower
Oh
is
my
under
god.
attack. Are scanning.
That'd be
Oh,
the
but
new
Lone Druid
Pangolier.
gets
That'd be it.
feared.
It's all done. It's finished.
Dire's structures are
Huh?
fortified.
This is a heavy
Team
commitment
Spirit.
from Team Spirit with the smoke. But
Dire's middle
Navi's
tower
not in
is
the
under
area.
attack.
They're not even clumping up for the tier 2 defense. It's a slow trickle down here.
Now they are. Spirit Bear. Savage Roar is out immediately. They'll still continue to try and chase this. Rotobait does land, but it's all bait. Got the juice. He's completely surrounded now. They'll jump into the back. Redis has been caught. Daze tries to jump in and help out, and now the cavalry's incoming. They'll disrupt by a bit more time. But Bayuk can just keep being out. Daze and Redis down. Panto, Rue, they both go down as well. So just support duo. The Team Spirit, they knew they couldn't stick around. They had to run.
Yeah, I'd say overall pretty alright for Team Spirit, right? Like, they take a very calculated risk. They know that once Global Silence is down, you're risking so much with this full Basher Abyssal here on Got the Juice. They do manage to at least dodge out. They get a little bit more gold in comparison to Navi for those support kills. And they managed to ride through this Aegis. Spires on Got the Juice now. No secondary life. Still a bit more time to rotate yourself 3 minutes minimum. Have to wait and see. And that's more time where, again, they can just kind of work the map. They've been doing a great job of just playing split push, playing with the bear. It's not really being heavily punished by Navi because, well, there's a lack of control, as we've constantly seen. And at some point, you do start to get fully slotted up here on the side of Navi. Again, that MKB Forgot the Juice does have the gold to buy it outright if you want. Just have to see when he does feel comfy and maybe just wanting that extra for the buyback as well. Just 1.4k gold away from that.
Bear. We'll see the Spirit Bear again. Missile Blade is out. That is complete rubbish. Like, why does that happen?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like, he has to enrage to ensure he can get this kill.
It's great. It's good stuff.
You are.
You know what else is good? What?
What is it?
What do you miss?
Well,
No, I mean, the axe is up for Batyuk. What do you miss, Mike?
well that's what I missed. I missed the Torrent Storm. I really missed Torrent Storm.
You know what? Yeah. It was absolute hell to play against, but you know, I actually think it was fine. Because it was so funny.
Do you
was
remember when it was just sitting, when Ags first came out on every single hero, and Torrent Storm was just sitting there for months and nobody realized?
Yeah.
And I just keep saying, like, how is this not the most broken ability in the game?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
It was just perfection.
58%.
Right? We kept saying, oh, you know, the water part.
It was
All the water team rides. The slides. Punk is opening up a new adventure park. He's not going to be legally liable for any injuries, of course. You signed that waiver when you played Dota 2. Punker can't be held liable.
full dataless now, by the way. Forgot the juice. I mean, he's got a lot of damage on this Ursa at this point. Spirit Bear still being an absolute nuisance. Now it's pushing tier 3 top tower. Disruption though from Daze is going to lock down the bear for a little bit. They'll purge it up as well. No games being played here with Yatoro. But this is kind of the thing with the meta, right? Like, with this low cooldown Spirit Bear, you can just kind of keep doing it. And as long as the lanes aren't too forced in, there's no real punishment for it.
No.
Yeah, sure, you can give the Dark Portrait away like we're seeing, and obviously the bear is pretty broken in that Dark Portrait state as well. But you get my point, John. You know?
Yep.
It's kind of dumb that he can just throw bears over and over again at tier 3 towers.
And it is. And they at least have a small window, a minute, an opportunity for Navi. Roche is up in a few seconds, or at least we'll see how long it takes. Maybe they find the jump.
Oh, they got him again. This is where it gets dangerous now, because if you lost the next one, then you've got real problems. But you did give a Dark Portrait away. Watch out. There's a lot of bears on the map right now. Lift him away. Look at the chase. Oh, Rue. Leave him alone. It's all right. The damage isn't there anyway. It's not worth this Dark Portrait. It's not worth. Don't do that crap again. Never again.
See how much effort it takes. So much effort from Navi just to take a 2-2. They'll find another one at least. Global Silence being down means you're likely not to counteract this on the side of Team Spirit. Roshan's still 50 seconds away. And now, at the least on paper, Navi does have the map control advantage. It's hard to say that with a straight face when you're still up against the Spirit Bear though. And it's, again, it's just going to do this every single time. Just push lane, run back, push lane, run back. Can't really easily punish. It's going to have a disperser now, so some self-dispel on the bear as well. Lovely to see that for Yatoro. Pretty much almost fully slotted up in this bear at this point. Navi, all they can hope for is a quick Roche. 18 seconds until it's fully back up. And for Team Spirit, at the least around that time, you don't quite have Global Silence. You also don't have vision around top Roche, so a bit tough.
Jump in, trying to strike out. They've got another Spirit Bear. Lovely. Roshan as well, just respawned. Scary times for the side of Team Spirit. Oh, I thought he had the wolf bite as well. That's so sick. I thought he had it. He doesn't. So they only have one bear for this fight. Roshan's available. They're constantly being watched by wolves as well. In fact, Roshan's going to be left now as they do smoke up and force the fight instead. Wolfbite has been popped, and they're going to run right into Batyoku. BKB's up. Meanwhile, Lyle right in the back onto the Grimstroke, but Lyle's taking a lot of damage. He'll move on to Niku now. Riddies is gone. Jump in for more. They want the Spirit Bear, but there's just so much damage on this Ursa. He needs help. He needs a lot of help, but he's gone. They've got another in PMA to boot. That is not good news for Navi.
That was very messy. It felt like that fight was way too fragmented for Navi. It felt like they were jumping different targets. They got cut off by Laurel. Really great position, just standing on the cliff after the D-ward and never leaving that mark. So he always had good visions to where Navi would be. Jumps the back line. Didn't see Soulbind. Didn't see Dark Portrait that fight because of it. The save from Daze just a bit too late. Couldn't get the disruption off. Now you have access to a free Roche. Nefertiti drops to just 2k for Navi, and Team Spirit are now in the driver's seat. I mean, sure, Navi was in the lead, but it didn't really feel like they were dictating the game. They just had to keep responding to Yatoro. Now you have to deal with a safety net on Laurel. You need to catch the Storm. Like, out of all the targets Navi keeps jumping, it's almost always just Batyuk, but it has to be Laurel that goes. The Storm is the one issue that they can actually see. It's just that they don't have the vision. I think that's been a consistent theme here for Navi. When they make these moves out, they don't have the ward coverage. Team Spirit, again, they get these D-wards off, they hold their ground. They saw the wolves running around as well with these cliff wards a while ago, so they knew something was going to happen here from Navi. And now you have to face up against the big AoE control Laurel has with a blue hole up and running. It's getting tougher for Navi. Mind you, the damage is still there. If they can focus down on an actual hero, not the bear, you can't just keep running around and chasing the Spirit Bear. It has to actually be the lone druid, or it has to be the Storm. At this point, you have to try to ignore the bear as much as possible, because it's just way too tanky. It's buying a ton of room out, and you're kind of losing the right-click trade with the bear anyhow. You just need to actually kill heroes for Navi. Easier said than done. Let's see how much Team Spirit can get away with the Aegis, but having this full ads on Laurel, it's deadly. You tie that in with this Kunkka control, with an Entangle it's coming in. It gets pretty scary for a 5v5 for Navi to go into.
They've just got so much control. There's more coming. The side device on Batyuk being worked on right now. Very close to it as well. Not a fun time at all for Navi now, fighting against the Aegis of this Storm. The Lone Druid is suddenly the least of your worries. Tormentor going to be taken as well. That'll be a free shot for Yatoro, because why the hell not? And well, I kind of like Navi. You just gotta do you buy time? Do you just wait for the Aegis to expire? Was it a one-off fight for Team Spirit? Like, you just... I'm not sure. It's just a big loss when you're playing ahead as Na'Vi and suddenly the ahead is gone and Roshan's gone.
Yeah, lost. In the last fight for Na'Vi, it was just too fragmented. And it's mainly because they're going in relying on wolf vision. They didn't respect, say, a storm hiding in the cliff for that long. The water did all the work. Your lack of backline jump is really the issue here, right? Like, you kind of have to commit with Niku and with Got the Juice on the right target. And it feels like they're trying to work out different targets at the same time. Feels like Niku's jumping one place and Got the Juice is trying to focus on something else with his Abyssal Blink. And it just isn't working out that way anymore. You've got to play as a unit. You need to really focus onto one, get the numbers advantage somehow with a meaningful kill, like the Storm, which with 2 lives up, I don't see happening in the next 2 minutes unless Laurel is seriously out of position, which is not very likely. For Na'Vi, I mean, you could use your own control pieces. PMA is trying to go for a side device of his own now, still further away than he would be with Bakyo. They're trying to see up top, and the bear is just doing so much work.
It sure is. Try and put a stop to this. At least the first bear. Lift him away though. He's got a disperser. He's gonna be just fine. Oh. What a great hero. Fantastic hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
They want to go again. I mean, they've still got a minute and a half on the Aegis here for Lal. They definitely want to try and move in if they can. Niku and Na'Vi, they're not really giving any openings away. You do have an MKB being worked on by the Sursa. Like, he needs everything he can get right now. They've got no way of dealing with this bear either. Like, it's just proving to be impossible with this butterfly arm.
No. So tanky as well. Like 4,000 HP with his evasion, 29 armor, with no hard armor items as well. It's kind of insane how much EHP and damage this thing has. And how quick it respawns. Like, think about it. If Lone Druid died, his respawn would be longer than the bears. That's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of dumb.
That is a bit silly. Zimpin, Lal, he's going to find himself Niku. Niku, still in a spot of danger, forced to BKB. Global Silence also committed, but they'll disrupt up to help out the Sankey just a little bit.
Refresh.
Torrent also going to land. The boat's going to land on top.
Oh.
Niku and Daze, they're both gone. Got the juice, he's trying to fight this one out, but his BKB's about to wear off. He's being dragged back in. He'll go back in for the fight. Toro with the Spirit Bear just annihilating this Ursa. And there's no buybacks to speak of on this Ursa. You do at least have the other 3. They'll commit on Daze. The Spirit Bear just stood its ground against this Ursa and just won.
Yeah, they just can't. They can't deal with it. And they have to jump the back.
They've got Dark Portrait as well in this room.
Nah.
So you got double bear. Look at this fight. Triple bears. More bears. I'm sure for somebody out there, this is a very enjoyable game, John. It's very enjoyable.
Point out too, Yatoro is having a ton of fun.
I'm glad to see your mind still that innocent, Jonathan. It's good to see. Top tier 3 tower is gone. Yatoro continuing. Zip 4. They're going to find Daze. Daze immediately going to be dying. Nothing he can do. One lane of barracks left. They are still holding onto a tier 2 tower, so Na'Vi will just wait out the respawns. They will probably be playing 4v5 for this next engagement high ground. I imagine Team Spirit aren't interested in waiting.
Bloody Rue. He sees the Dark Portrait bear, just gets it again. He gets his own Dark Portrait. Why? Look at this. It's disgusting.
How great is it?
Jeez Louise. Satanic now for our bear. Not that you needed it here, Yatoro, but hey. Your bear is fully set. And I know what you do on Navi. I mean, I know what you have to do. Got the Juice can't just can't just square up against the bear. You really have to hunt for something else. When you hit Larl, it looks promising. Your cleave damage is going off. You're also doing damage to the bear. Just don't hit the bear directly. I think it has to be the game plan. Somehow.
Wolf Fight is there. They're going to have to commit. This is the final lane of barracks for NAVI. They're not seeing the angle quite yet. Now being kind of forced to jump in. Surely, eventually. Here we go. They'll go after the Kunkka first, but the BKB is going to protect Batyuk because he gets the boat out again. The Spirit Bear, meanwhile, is still just going away at the Curse, who's just getting annihilated. Oh, it's over. Surely got the juices down. They found Niku, who's going to buy back, but they've just done no damage. Team Spirit, I think they'll buy back on the two that did die. More buyback from NAVI. They're continuing to try this one out. PMA's life will be lost. That's a dieback and GG's call. They have seen enough. Team Spirit, they successfully drag this out to a game 3.
That they do, and they make it look relatively simple here in game number 2. NAVI, they did have some bite back. They had some good timings to play with. In the end, just the positioning of Team Spirit was so hard to play into. You were seeing that at that last fight as well. Got the Juice was trying to jump the back line.
In fairness in saying that, Jonathan, me favoring any team is not really a good thing. Usually quite a bad thing.
Look at this. Look at the graphs. Dota Plus is now giving NAVI a 57% chance to win.
You see what I'm saying?
And it was correct last time.
Did you see what I'm saying?
It was very correct last time. Yeah, I see.
And I
get
doubted
it
it too last time. I did.
I get it.
I mean, I would never get
get
it,
it.
but I did. Just for a second.
I get it now. Very fascinating. We'll see. We'll see if Dota Plus or AI overlords have overtaken.
I'll never stop paying for Dota Plus, John. Never. Rather die than stop paying for Dota Plus.
You're just leaking your Wall Street bets right now.
I'd rather pay Dota Plus than taxes. I think it should be a tax write-off, quite frankly, at this point. I really do. I think it should be a tax write-off.
Well, you know, at some point, Valve could be a working government entity, so could count as a tax
break. They should be.
So there you go.
They'll do a better job. They really should be. They should be, John. Lol. It's going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounties. Not your government, of course. Every other government, John. No, you're
what do you mean
not
my government.
I'm just saying, John. I'm saying to the people watching, John. You know, I'm not. I'm trying to avoid politics, John. You know, it gets a little bit funny these days. The politics. I'm just saying. You know, there's no political statements here being made, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying government sucks, Jonathan. They suck.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what doesn't suck? Game 2, we saw the bear market in action. That was pretty fun. Like, you enjoy that. Good old bear market. Still, no bear markets here. We're watching as the lanes go off. And the bot lane is the lane with a lot of poke, right? There's a lot of just action that can pump out. You've got damage with Tidebringer. You've got steady poke here with Panto, with the Glaives up against a melee matchup. At the same time, you have to be cautious about the Thunder Strike, Scorched Earth Chase Down. Once you have Glimpse, it gets a little bit scary to run into that Doom. I don't expect this to be too rough for Got the Juice, but the Tidebringer spam certainly starts to become an issue at, say, level 2 Tidebringer, level 3 here for Batyuk. See how well they hold on to that point there for Got the Juice. Top lane, of course, Yatoro on the Monkey. Along with Rue on that Hoodwink, you don't have the double Quelling Blades here for NAVI, so there is a little bit more leeway here for Rue to gun for the Bushwhacks later on, and some priests to scurry around. But PMA also shouldn't be under too much pressure. You're super tanky on Lycan. You've got the Wolves to micro around to deal some harassment and secure some CS for yourself. Should still be able to find that steady build-up you'd want. And overall, you'd expect this to be a little bit more smooth for PMA. You should have that timing into Dominator, but we'll see. If you land a good Bushwhack and you get a good chase down from Yatoro, also doesn't take too much to kill off someone like, say, Daze. Rue and Daze were poking each other quite hard, and Rue does tend to kind of win out. Does have a lot of damage with that Acorn shot out. And once you have that Bushwhack hold with a tree line, although, saying that...
Oh, the miss? No, he's alright. He's alright. Daze does secure the kill. Rue to go down. Chase is actually continuing onto Yatoro, but it shouldn't lead to anything. Surely they're not diving to you. And they won't. But already a bit of regression here from NAVI at this top lane. They'll try to fight back now, Daze. He's got Lift and Fade Bolt ready. Will commit it, of course, onto Yatoro. the PMA does get the Jingu Mastery procced on him. This is not great news. He'll plant a tree as well. In fact, I think that might have been Rue. And that's a bit of a shame. You would have much rather just watched your Rubik die.
Yeah, I appreciate the tiny plays coming in, trying to body block, trying to cut off, but that is a Monkey King getting free hits off. Again, you have to respect the output here from the Hoodwink. If you don't cut the entire tree line, it's just really easy for Rue to look for those opportunities. So some good punishment back there from Team Spirit. The mid lane haven't really talked about, but again, being pretty impactful. You are getting a bit of a better start out for Niku. And he was poking well, but Lars also dishing some good harassment out with the orb. Good dodges out as well. Not the safest lane in the world here for Niku. Wondering if there's room for the supports to come in. You already have this early movement from Daze into the 4-minute water room, so I'm get ahead of the curve here.
Niku being chased down now by Lal. Daze right behind him. Niku streak out the orb. Lal still playing with fire here. You've got Daze right behind, and Daze is going to reveal himself in the end. While we're complaining, by the way, about innates and facets, I mean, the fact that Puckish still exists, doesn't that just annoy you?
Yeah.
Look at it.
It's horrible. It's horrible. PMA's
So
dead.
is PMA dying another time? PMA's dead again, Jonathan.
Yeah, they focused a lot on just denying off that mid-walk. They do deny it, but possible kill down bot.
They will try for Got the Juice. Panto dropping pretty low himself, but Got the Juice can't really stick around. In fact, look at this Panto just manning up, and Riddy's gonna cop the Tidebringer to the face. +1 in once again from Panto. Daze has made his way over on the Rubik, but it is all too late. There's nothing to be had.
No. This map movement across for NAVI just not panning out. Again, they cut off Laurel from Waterrune, but he still just regenerates so much from Puckish. It's maddening. 3% HP is just... And mana is just insane that it scaled so well. They're clumping up 3 down bot. You're already in the jungle now for PMA, forced to just give the lane to Yatoro, so free farm for a monkey. They have the opportunity to try to go through gate now as well here with Rue. Scanned out, so they should be ready. They're positioning nicely on the left side here. Try something here.
He's going to get jumped bottom lane in the meantime. He'll go down. Nice and easy. They'd love themselves a Kunker if they could find it. They'll get a courier of Rue. So there is something for their trouble. Bayuk's going to be fine. In fact, Rue does show up right behind him, and they want to try and make maybe a bit of a play onto this Doom, but it doesn't really feel like you're going to have enough anyway. You know, you've got the juice, should be alright. Big support duos being made, rotations being made in the mid lane though in the meantime. You've got 6-minute power runes spawning up in just a second. So Rue, Riddy's rather, going to show up. Niku trying to go after Lol, not quite there. Do they have the range for a glimpse? They do not. Meanwhile, Niku getting a regen rune in the middle of all this is going to feel amazing for him. Exactly what he wanted, because now he can at least guarantee himself a kill. Maybe even a second. But no, they miss out on Lol for now. They'll take Rue down as Niku falling pretty low himself. Oh, he gets the blink, but he dies to the last word damage. They will at least kill Lol in the meantime. Daze will drop to boot. Now it's just position 5s left. And they can do nothing against each other. Ultimately, John, the winner of all this seems to be Panther. He just keeps getting smarter, this bloke.
Yeah, 4 int already very early on. Nice early pacing for him. Expecting that action on mid as well. He was there a little bit early. It made it pretty awkward for Navi to try to get that kill. I mean, in the end, you still punish Laurel, but you lose Niku a little bit too early to really feel happy about those changes of events. At least, again, good management in the water on the power runes. But now, Laurel is 6 anyhow. Has Dream Coil ready to be leveled up. And again, while all of this action happens mid, your side lanes are kind of suffering, especially top. Yatoro just going solo. Gonna have a good timing into Battle Fury this game. Gonna farm a Storm up. Looking to heavily scale. PMA can't really match up against him. He is inching his way towards a Dominator, though. And they are still looking for action down bot here.
Well, they're gonna try for at least Riddy's. Riddy's gonna be okay. Jump in onto Daze. Daze, he will not be so okay. Gets a courier on his way out at least, but is certainly going to die. And Yatoro claims the kill for himself. Speaking of Yatoro, he's had a pretty damn good time. You know, it's been pretty much free farm for him. He's second in net worth. No contest. Only behind his own Conqueror as well. But been having a fantastic time to boot. And it's really another scary game for NAVI when you think about it. Like, playing behind with a draft like this is not going to feel good. You want to play ahead, and that's not where they are.
Yeah, like we were saying in the draft, like, you have to hit this foundational start for NAVI where your Lycan can split push for you with Dominator Overlord. And when you surrender a lane like that, sure, you're still getting farm and Lycan, but this Monkey King's just getting way too much in exchange. Bot tier 1's already falling here, with Team Spirits shoving in. Very early tower take for a lineup that doesn't even have like natural push heroes, which is a concerning sign for NAVI. They're committing resources up top now to try to make something happen, but Yatoro is level 7 and is just scouting in the trees. They're even getting gate movement across. This could be nasty for NAVI if they're not good.
Move in. PMA. Big Sonic Wave is out from Niku, pushing a couple back, but PMA just melts anyway. Just doesn't matter. Greedy's also set to fall. Nice easy pick off here for Spirit. 2 for the price of nothing. And again, like when you're playing behind with a draft like this from NAVI, this is basically what's going to happen. Like, you just don't have the answers. Even with some nice spell usage like we saw with Niku, it doesn't matter.
No. You just kind of have to cut your losses, get your form on this Doom. Maybe the Dominator timing still comes out here, and it is for PMA, but you're looking at Overlord, you're looking at maybe BKB or Ags for your utility onto Got the Juice. And again, it's just going to take so much time. Your supports are nowhere near 6 as well, so you don't have this play that you could maybe do with Static Storm, Sonic Wave. You really need that Static Storm up if you want to have any hope of actually catching Laurel as well. It's going to be a relatively free puck game, which it has been so far. 4-8, an awesome start for Team Spirit. And NAVI, I mean, they're going to have to do what we've seen a lot of teams do when they don't have the lead at 10 minutes. You just sit back, you farm, you don't give up core kills, just throw your supports to the wolves. Nice amp damage for Nico at least, but I don't see an angle for him to even use that effectively. Maybe if they start to send some free supports, but even Batyuk is a bit tanky here.
He is, but Yoki, he's just not going to die that quickly. In fact, Niku, the one in danger now, the coil's going to lock him down. Lal happily taking his life away. They'll allow the Rubik an escape route, but they've already got the much bigger target. Wolf form popped, but it seems as though Yatoro's still just going to end up being perfectly fine through it, or is he? TP's coming in to try and help out, still alive just barely. Bushwhack's not going to catch the actual Lycan, though Acorn Shot does slow him down. But PMA able to find a pretty big pick-off onto Yatoro and might even get a secondary kill. The Rube proves to be a little bit more pesky.
Yeah, have to appreciate that nice little sidestep PMA makes to dodge the Bushwhack. Gets a nice clean kill. Very important for the side of NAVI to find, even on PMA. Like we were talking again, this Lycan just needs to be online quick, making great use of some shape shifts here early on. And that's a big network target to kind of knock down the Pinata. Still, in position still. Good old Yatoro just heading back top. You are hanging out more heroes down here again. Redis is fairly close to 6 now. So there could be a threat of Static Storm if he manages to soak up a little bit more, but doesn't look like he'll commit. Amp damage rune is popped up now as well. And Team Spirit's not wanting to give up these objectives. They don't have Global Silence for half a minute though. Can be a bit awkward to force this one out.
On tier 1 top tower still under siege. Yatoro's going to respawn now. Siege creep still going, but it is now within deny range. Yatoro will just happily take the deny for himself into the tier 1 tower. It is still some pretty nice kills that were occurring thanks to PMA. Whether it makes the difference for now, I don't think so, but a couple more of those and you start to feel a little bit better as NAVI. Especially considering you're approaching that mid-game stage now where you want to feel really strong with this draft. You know, you kind of want to be running at people with Doom off cooldown and your Sonic Wave off cooldown. And it feels like we're about almost there. As PMA again going to pop the wolf form, chasing down ruined the hoodwink now. These are the kind of pickoffs you like to see if you're Navi. Just the small, quick ones.
They buy space out as well, because now, you know, no one's contesting down bot. Got the Juice has really good jungle space. He has his Midas, right? So you're forcing all this action up top. You manage to find an objective. You clear some space for this Doom to get to that point where it can start to join in. It's still going to be a ways off, though. And it's like Echo Saber build up. It's going to be Shard here queued up as well. Forgot to Juice maybe the Blink or BKB afterwards. And then it starts to kind of get simpler here for Na'Vi. For the side of Team Spirit, you're still in a very happy spot. Battle Fury's up in Yatoro. His farm can just kick up. Global Silence is off cooldown, so he could try.
I'm going to give it a crack, but Daze going to go down. Tier 1 mid tower will be under siege. You do have Nico around on the pop, but he's not really able to do too much about this. Team Spirit continuing for that tier 1 mid. Meanwhile, Na'Vi hunting, trying to see if they can find themselves a monkey in the jungle. And they just may. Oh, that's a nice stun. Yatoro not quite anticipating it, but they didn't have the follow-up. No glimpse, no kinetic field to be thrown out. I mean, they had it off cooldown, but they just weren't within range. Bit of a shame. It's a nice little stun.
Yeah. It's a little bit awkward to try to follow through anyhow. I think right by a tier 2, you have enough time to respond there on Team Spirit. So just an optimistic little thing. They're starting to clump around the big target they want to kill, though, down bot.
Try. They have found themselves a pretty big one, though. Got the juice. It's that easy for Spirit right now. They're just running all over them. That's your POS 1 Doom going down. Just no contest. Na'Vi, they're unable to really fight back in time.
No. Again, it's just down to the nature of this draft. You need so much more time. You just have to bleed out slowly or minimize the bleeding as much as possible. See what you can get away with. And that is the target they needed to hunt, though, on Team Spirit, right? Like, there was just so much free space for this Doom. So you had to give a little bit of a check in that jungle. They still have defensive wards here. Got the Juice is going to play a little bit more cautiously by those wards now. Again, he's so far away from Echo Saber still. Into the Shard, into Blink, into BKB, into Harpoon. It's not going to be an easy time to start scaling up here. At the least, PMA's timing for his full Dominator Overlord is almost done. So you will have an Ancient Creep to help things along when you shapeshift. Some utility there. Get some damage out. You've got the full Veil up on Miku, trying to go for his Ags now for even more damage as well. Trying to spread some of that Shadow Strike out, which he doesn't have leveled up yet, but by the time he has Ags, he should. Again, it's just time. Without these tools, you can't really play. There's always the threat of Static Storm, but again, Team Spirit aren't really giving an opportunity for that spell to be used up here in any meaningful way, so it's just hard to see them committing something. Although, like this.
They have found themselves a decent target. The Puck, though, it's not taking quite a quick time. It's taking too much time for this Puck to go down. He survives through it. God, the Juice is the one to fall first. Not a good fight for Na'Vi. I mean, you had LAR locked down for how long? But there's just no damage.
No. No damage in the Global Silence. You just couldn't get Doom off. You just really wanted to get Doom, but that timing from Panto, again, this lack of backline jump. If Niku doesn't see the backline at all, no one else can kind of clear out that set of heroes. It's just a rough time for Na'Vi. And that would have been the biggest kill they could hope for. Just put a stop to Laurel. You know, slow down this Puck a little bit more. Get some Tactic Gold on your Doom. Now you're 5k behind at 16 minutes in. Quite a significant amount, especially since you're playing with a Doom with Midas. It is rough times right now for the side of Na'Vi, but very, very smooth sailing for Team Spirit. And looking like they've fully woken up from that Game 1. Game 2 looked really solid. Game 3 is looking as clean, if not cleaner, than that Game 2 overall. And Yatoro is just farming up a Storm. Batyok just about to finish up the full Shivas now. A lot of AoE coming out, a lot of attack speed slow that's just going to be annoying for Na'Vi to have to play up against when they already lack some right click here. So, just doesn't get any simpler for Na'Vi. All you can do is just wait and hope.
This could make things more complicated for Niku. Oh, they actually got the X. Nice blink away though. They don't time it quite right. They're still going to find Riddy. Still something for their trouble, but Niku's going to be pretty happy with the fact that he's not caught out. Full TV back towards the fountain. 6 to 14. 5k advantage still standing. Issue is, Yatoro is still just farming freely this whole time. But you're still top of the net worth board with no real contest on this Kunkka. You know, you're still playing a draft from NAVI that doesn't really like to play from behind. Like they're trying. Got the Juice has got a Midas. He's trying to get that farm going. It's just such a slow process.
It is.
It's so slow.
And all the tools are in Team Spirit's hands. Like they can choose to do whatever they want. There's really no threat on Navi until your Doom is ready to actually join in these engagements. Smoke up from Team Spirit side, a good swing into the triangle, into maybe Roshan here could be quite nice for just, you know, pickoffs into a tier 1.
Riddies. Are we going down? Coil actually landing as well and got the Juice.
You just can't.
It's so tough to watch your Pos 1 dying that quickly. But it's just that easy right now for Team Spirit. Days. Waning Rift. He's going to buy himself some time, but not too much time. He will also go down. Double kill now for Yatoro. Back to the T1 top tower. We're still pretty early into the game, all things being said and done. It's just a very dominant performance for Game 3 for Team Spirit.
And it is. Even just trying to bully out the Overlord dude. Latiuk is surrounded, but he's just so tanky.
He's very tanky, and they haven't held him down either. He'll get the boat off in time. Well, that's not going to help you kill him. I'll promise you that. Thought maybe we would have seen a quicker glimpse to not allow the boat, but he got the chance. At least the bushwhack cannot connect through. Wukong's though right on got that juice.
Still can't do him.
Nope. Still cannot doom anyone. PMA also caught. No hiding in the tree line against Yatoro. It looks a lot worse, I think, because they have a draft that is very hard to come back.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the game look substantially worse for now.
Yeah, again, they need to win out in lanes. They need to set up for this game to have a faster timing into Echo Saber plus likely Blink BKB. And it's just not there anymore. You know, your Doom is at 7.9k net worth. For reference, this Silencer at 6k. Panto's just, what, 1.8k behind? Not a great feeling when you're Doom with a Midas. That has 2 charges right now that you need to kind of use up here. Little got the juice. He's hanging on to the charges, so fair enough. Silver linings, I guess. Niku's 2 parts from Ags. Does feel like that's going to be quite some time away still, considering how constrained the map is. You've got Orchid build-up for PMA, which is also a ways off. And again, for Team Spirit, there's just no stopping this. 10k lead now, 20 minutes in, 21 minutes in, 6 to 19. And Navi, I mean, look, BKB and got the juice. He switched over. He's not even bothering Echo Saber. Just BKB, doom something, hope for the best. And this could help. They're just lacking the recipe gold at this point. So maybe that's when things can start to open up. But if that Doom doesn't get anything done, man, I don't know what you're supposed to do, because that's the one thing lacking right now. Got the Juice has been trying. He's not been able to use Doom at all. We've seen no Dooms this game. So when it comes out, it has to pay off in a big way. Team Spirit, though, not going to rest until that moment. Smoked up once again.
Here they go. Not much has stopped Team Spirit from just doing whatever the hell they want in this game 3. It doesn't seem like things are going to change too quickly here for Navi. It's Niku. May get spotted. Like, no, they'll avoid Niku. They find Days instead. But at least you've got that. You know, at least it's not the quad. That's the bright side.
Silver linings?
Oh, they might still find the quad.
Okay.
Never mind what I said. They found it. They found it. Silver linings, though. They're disappearing slowly, but do you see Do you see it?
No.
Is under
No.
Trying to think.
That's more like it. That's
I'm
more
looking
like
at graph. I think this is graph you're familiar with. So that's the one silver lining. I mean,
How many times you gotta hear the same joke?
not until it stops being funny. It's funny to me.
It probably won't stop being funny.
No.
Go on.
200 gold from BKB. Forgot the juice. It's something. He can doom someone. I don't know if they can even kill some if they're doomed when the boat comes in. Is that's still damage reduction? Oh.
Yeah, lockdown, global silence just in case. Very unnecessary, Mr. Panto. BKB now up on your Toro. So in case things were already,
Dire's middle tower.
not hard enough for Navi, now you've got to deal with the BKB of the MK. Coil, committed. Very easy to kill off days with the coil there to lock him down.
Panto.
Panto's really happy about all that's happening on the silencer. Throw shot, gonna get started.
I mean, again, all you can do right now, Navi, is sit back and wait. Orchid still a ways off though for good old PMA. The Ags should be flying out for Nico at least. One part of it now, just a few 2 gold left. We'll have it. So Shadow Strike spam is there, but again, that's also that just doesn't feel like it's gonna be enough either. Right? Like you're still 12k behind. I don't know if you even survive long enough to pop to try to get like 2 usages out from your Shadow Strikes. 2 or 3. It's hard to see that, but they'll try. They've got the BKB, they've got that active smoke. Issue is there are 2 lives here on Yatoro. You should look for something else here.
Yeah, mate. It's gonna be alright. We'll take the X for them souls on days. Tier 2 top tower still being forced in the meantime. There is an area to fight if Navi wanted to take it. A lot of lines being drawn towards the bottom side of the map. The Team Spirit, they're not really seemingly very interested in trying to move their way. I say that, they are moving now. The PMA is probably in trouble. Oh, the turret, it's gonna connect. Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessary, but you know,
No.
that was not necessary.
Yeah, but you know, I think Team Spirit really wanted to shake off that Game 1, and this is what Game 1 was for Team Spirit, but they're on the winning side now. Navi is the one just completely suppressed and have no real game to play. And the times are so rough, Niku's trying to go for a late Midas into BKB. Orchid's up on PMA, but you can't really chase anyone down. Your supports can only do so much here. Riddies is just trying to rush Ags, which could be a difference maker. I mean, you get a good team fight twice with the Ags, but nice. Got the juice, was forced to BKB TP home. So it's down to 8 seconds, which is also not a great feeling, but hey, he doesn't die at least. But yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. 15k advantage, Team Spirit. Almost a full silver edge here, or at least a Shadow Blade for Yatoro. And we've got the Lincolns being farmed up, so protection here for Laurel. The Ags next for Batyuk, or with the BKB flying out. Maybe they try bot. Still 2 lives in this monkey though.
Oh, that's a nice
Yeah,
balance. That's a nice balance. I mean, he caught quite a few with that, although Niku's still fighting back somehow. He will die eventually. Yatoro, of course, has the Aegis up. Surprise actually ended up dropping that low.
This will work.
So there is still, Navi showing signs of hope somewhat. Not much of it, but it's there. There goes your Alpha Wolf. Daze is Xing himself around. He'll get another spell to still bush. Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You might have liked that,
That's a fun one.
20 minutes ago, but here we are.
Well, 20 minutes ago he wasn't level 6, so
Oh, John.
it's all right.
You know? Here's the thing. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Now it's gone.
Perfect.
Now he doesn't have it. I mean, it's been clinical here from Team Spirit. And on to the high ground they go. Still a minute and a half in the Aegis. I really don't see any reason to back off. If you were ballsy on Riddies right now, the play would be to sell literally everything but your Ags components and just ride naked Ags on this Disruptor and hope for the best. Because you're not getting Doom off. You might as well have the pseudo Doom in Static Storm Ags upgrade instead. But it is a risk. And I guess Team Spirit isn't looking to commit too hard anyway. They are playing it safe. If you back off, no need to try to pierce high ground.
No.
Just get more items up. And, you know, play a little bit of a cool and calm and calculated game. No need to rush. Just yet. I mean, Harpoon's gonna be farm. Oh god, please.
It's a tough time. It's a tough time indeed, Jonathan. Riddies is gone. BKB popped by Got the Juice. Meanwhile, Nuku guys across the map. At least you get your Doom out of there, but that's the BKB down for 85 seconds. And, well, I mean, if you're Team Spirit, surely you're starting to think about approaching high ground.
Silence.
Not much time left on the Aegis, at least for NAVI, so there's an opening for them to try and defend high ground and maybe find this Monkey King. But they are 20k behind. It won't be an easy fight. It'll be a very hard fight, in fact.
You're one part away from the full Ags here for Riddies. You've got to go for one more component. So, if you can somehow wait until the next component's up, maybe. It's a lot of maybes right there. You blink as well. You are just going to blink now for Dr. Juice, which you should have. There you go. Instant buyout. No buyback, but you kind of have to go all in. Dr. Juice. Well, this is not a happy spot with Yatoro chasing.
Dire are scanning.
Still chasing. Got the Juice. It looks like he's okay. A lot of patience here from Team Spirit as well. Like, there's no rush for them. They understand they're in complete control and, you know, it is their game to throw at this stage. Amp Damager going to be found here for Lal. He's going to be very happy about that. This smoke couldn't come at a worse time for Na'Vi. Oh, Yatoro breaks it as well with a silver edge. I mean, that's just sad. That is just sad. Riddies and days are gone. Where's PMA? He's not going anywhere, John. In fact, he is. He's out of it. He's fine. Instead, PMA, or rather, Got the Juice is the one to go down. Triple kill for Lal.
Silence, fool.
I think Panto's just trying to tell him, like, it might be time to call it, boys.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, even with that blink, you're not getting any action here on Got the Juice at all. Just a rough position to be in with that blink reveal. Niku. Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's not dead yet. Never mind. Bottom lane. E3 Tower.
I mean, they still have Doom. They still have Doom, right?
That's
Static
true.
Storm.
Well, he's
They
dead,
can use
but
these
they've got
spells.
him. You know, he's coming.
Come on, just sell your brown boots now. Ready? Sell your brown boots, sell your wand. Just get the ads. It's the point of this game now. Just sell your stuff, get your ads.
What they got? They got days. Crocus tried their best to help with their stunt. Doesn't work out. And Yatoro now T is a Croco. Never mind. He's not a Croco anymore. In they go again. Mid-ranks now going to be understood.
They're not even coming in to defend.
Yeah, at this point now he's hoping the Team Spirit fall asleep or something. Not sure what
one
the
strategy.
hope is at this point. Riddies?
No, he can't die. Come on. No, Riddy's. No, the Ags. No, Riddy.
Oh, we got the Ags. Oh, maybe they can get Toro. Sonic Wave, but no, he's got the BKB TP. No. He's fine. He's alright. And yeah, it was. He did have enough gold for the Ags. That is
Close to it. At least, you know, sell the wand. Sell the wand and buy the Ags. And hope for the best. Maybe try to get a forward ward somewhere. You know, vision hasn't been the cleanest for Navi, but I also haven't had map control, so kind of goes in there. They'll smoke. The Ags is up. This is it. This has to be it. Surely we got a Doom usage, right? Like, Got the Juice has not used it the entire game. Surely at least once forgot the Juice. One time.
one time. It's gonna happen now. I feel it. The Doom's coming. Get ready for it. Don't hold your breath, Jonathan. We'll do so. It's coming. No, it's coming. John, it's coming. Dream quote. Committed. Pop the Doom. There, he used it. He used it, John. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, Lowell is quite literally on fire, so I suppose it is accurate. So there we go. GG's call. Navi had enough. Props to Team Spirit for pulling off the game for it.
Yeah, rather unfortunate, well, time for Navi. They looked really strong in game one.